It's open.
I don't go out on dates with guys who don't open the door for me.
Really?
Really?
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh, man.
No, he didn't.
Wait for it.
I'm disrespecting my husband because I'm friends with a man?
But I think, though, it's not that you're friends with a man. The point is you're not listening to him. Like, again, love to men is respect. It's saying, you know what, I might not agree with this, but I respect your judgment, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to do what you say. But, like, men don't want an argumentative woman.
This girl literally just caught an attitude with her boyfriend because he held the door open for me when I'm walking in the gas station. Baby, this is what the y'all just got up. Baby, you're safe with me, baby.
Everyone's going to hate me for saying this because I strongly believe in the masculine and feminine dynamic. Women are here to be women. Our physiology is such. It doesn't mean we need to be locked up in the house and not allowed to do anything or say anything. No, that's not what I mean by being feminine. We spiritually take care of men. And men, when they're in the protector provider space, they also thrive.
Some people are like, oh, men are dogs. And I was like, yes, they are. They're loyal. They're always happy to see you. They're looking for something to do for you. What could they bring you? they just want to be admired and appreciated. And yeah, if you treated them like dogs, everything would turn out much better. Much, much better.
And what's funny is that a lot of these modern women, even if you go on a coffee date, they've already got their checklist out. Does he make the salary that I wanted to make? What's his 5-year plan? Has he done the work? That sort of thing. And a lot of times, even though that might be great, you definitely want to vet somebody for that sort of thing. They're not even ready themselves.
6.5% of married Black couples are below the poverty line. It's not very different from married couples in the United States. So the whole country, which includes Black people, the whole country, it's 4.6% of married couples are below the poverty line. Families that are headed by single women are 31% below the poverty line. That is insane.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
I don't know what it's like to be single in this day and age, and I can imagine. So at some point you're just like, if I keep having these high standards, I'm never going to meet somebody. Yeah. What I would say is keep your intrinsic standards high and your extrinsic ones low. And what I mean by that is keep your standards of how you like to be treated emotionally really high. Do you like text back? Do you like labels? Do you like regular dates? Keep that high, or regular time together. That doesn't even have to be dates. Keep that high, but keep your extrinsic values. Like, does he take me on holidays? Is he going to buy me this? Is he sent me flowers? Keep those low. They're not relevant in the long run.
Tell that man no. Don't be afraid to stand your ground thinking you're going to lose him. If standing your ground and setting boundaries in the relationship scares you because you think you're going to lose him, that's not your guy. That's not your guy. Any guy that loves you, respects you, and wants you in their life, you can enforce boundaries. Actually, motherfuckers love that. Men love when you're strict, believe it or not. No, I'm not doing that. And stand in it. Men love it. So if that's you. That's a you problem. Get over it. If he leave, he leave.
A lot of modern women don't really understand that divorce and, really even before you get to divorce, relationships cost a lot. They cost a lot. And, honestly, now that I say that, I think modern women do understand that relationships do cost a lot. That's why they're trying to make men shoulder all of it. And men are like, no, I'm not going to be doing that. And that's why you see a lot of men opt out of dating. They quit, just entirely.
The women that want Russell Wilson is usually the women in their later 30s with kids by other men. Exactly. That now, and after they ran through all the fuckboy and now they got all that trauma, now they want a Russell Wilson. When y'all was avoiding him y'all whole prime years.
I agree, because one thing I say to myself all the time, I wish in my 20s I dated way more. Instead of trying to find somebody to settle down with and have a kid with, and then you realize that's not that person, you should have been dating in your 20s, like your parents say, enjoy your life. And then when you get to your 30, the age 30, then you could be like, all right, I want to settle down with this person. So that is definitely true.
Men, be honest, if you were seeing a girl and she never cared about what you did and never even checked in about where you are, what you're doing, would you behave better or worse?
He's probably going to just think that you don't like him very much, because when you like somebody, you're kind of interested in their life. You're going to want to know like what's up and how their day was.
I'm at a point in my life now when it comes to dating, if the next man that talks to me isn't willing to suck the fart out of my asshole, I don't want him. I'm not even into that. That's not even me king shaming, but like, I need to know on a baseline after meeting me that that's your level of obsessed with me that you are, because I don't have another talking stage in me. I have so much peace at my house. So unless you're willing to be like, get down on your knees on all fours to do so gladly and happily, please don't disturb my peace.
If you want to stop the train, you have to stop the train. You have to step in and stop giving these women attention.
I don't view anyone on this app as a human being. Looks like we matched. You're hot, but I think there's someone hotter out there, so I'm gonna hold out for that, but I'd still like to lead you on though. Follow me on Instagram. I'm never on this app. Helen Keller wasn't real, and I want to talk to you about that, because I'm not very interesting. Dating me, it's like winning the lottery. I love going to restaurants. Do you want to go to a restaurant? I'm not over my ex. I just want to make you like me because I didn't receive love as a child, and now I'm allowed to be an to everybody that I meet.
They have all the leverage. And really, as a result of that, they do behave so unbelievably horribly. Like what you see here is exactly what happens. And get in the chat and tell me, is this your experience? Have you been on Hinge? And I'm not going to judge if you've been on there. I know I get in the chat sometimes to respond, but I'm not going to judge. Is this your response? Your experience? I'm sorry. Is this your experience on there with the ladies?
You know, a lot of these men, and I don't think modern women really understand this. He's not really intimidated by your career and the money that you make. He's not intimidated that you have a house. He's unimpressed by your terrible your terrible attitude. A lot of these modern women throw out their job title thinking that it's going to be a substitute for their attitude, and you continue to be unpleasant to be around.
Always have options, or be completely happy by yourself where nothing or no one bothers you. The minute you get thirsty, men, thirsty for a relationship or for a woman, jealous or suspect of her behavior, means you didn't do the above. You didn't have options, or you didn't become happy by yourself, content by yourself. But above all, number 2 is your best option. Be happy and content by yourself where nothing or no one can bother you. It's a way of unplugging and getting off the roller coaster.
Unpopular opinion. A lot of women claim that they want a man who's emotionally mature and has his together until you actually get one. And then you realize that man come with discipline, standards, boundaries, limits. He don't just give in to you because you said you wanted something, and he not dealing with no smart mouth just because it's you. Now all of a sudden he a lying narcissist, and he don't know how to treat a woman because he don't just give you your way all the time. He actually uses logic and discipline whenever he thinks, and he moves and he acts. He's an emotional because even when you summon the waterworks, he don't let you win the argument.
She gets it. And I feel like some men like this unfortunately end up attracting sometimes that woman that genuinely is toxic herself, and she wants to drag him down. She will spend years pulling this guy down notch by notch until he's a shell of what he once was, and it's so heartbreaking. I feel like a lot of men are very understanding when they probably shouldn't be, because some ladies haven't earned it. But I fully agree, this happens all of the time. And then she wants him to compromise on his values when she knew up front who this man was. If you genuinely want a man like that, fully accept him for who he is.
You know, a lot of men are not approaching because they learn their lesson, right? Tried being a gentleman, learn my lesson. Tried being, the good guy, the stable guy, I learned my lesson. Tried to be assertive. Try to be vulnerable. I learned my lesson. In all of these situations, modern women are continuing to ruin the dating market with their
women give men a million reasons to look elsewhere with their attitudes. So women got it twisted because women think that since they're beautiful and they have a vagina, that they're the goddess of the universe and that men should just be happy to be with them. But that what you don't understand, kind of come a dime a dozen nowadays. It's free because women are so emotional. It don't matter what you did all the way up until the moment she's mad. When she mad, it don't matter what you did. She'll destroy everything because she didn't get her way in these 5 minutes. This is what women do in relationships. And then they say, happy wife, happy life. That's narcissism to the 1000th degree. But women don't think they're narcissists.
Do you think women who are more, say, liberated, do they feel like they're stronger than you?
No, I think they feel weaker.
A woman that has literally detached herself from her body, that's kind of like what it is. When a woman can just sleep with this dude, sleep with that dude, and don't feel anything. That woman can perceive herself as being strong. But in my opinion, that woman is actually numb. So all of these strong women out here, I can do it myself. I don't need no man. I can sleep with a man without, feeling anything. Are you strong or are you numb? You're not numb.
No, I'm not numb.
Right.
I'm very in my body.
Right.
But I will say, is it an informed decision or is it because of alcohol, because of low self-worth, because of low self-esteem? Like if you are that woman, and I do think there are those women, they're just very rare and few and far in between that actually feel great and liberated inside of freedom. However, I think a lot more women try to say I'm liberated as an excuse to be promiscuous, to be in these streets and outside. I really do. I think that most women try to blanket it to make it okay. But the truth is, if it goes back to our nature, it's not natural for us to have all of these different men inside of our bodies. And it lowers our value. I don't care what anyone says. I really believe that being a promiscuous woman is an indirect correlation to the high value that you could have, that you're now surrendering, now changing the level of qualification for the certain type of man every woman says that they want.
A lot of these modern women continue to talk about wanting a man to match their energy. But if a man were to be matching your energy, then nothing would be going on. Like at all. Like, because modern women don't really do anything. At least when it comes to dating, courting, being pursued. They really don't do anything. They expect the man to do everything. So he's actually doing above and beyond because the bar is literally on the floor.
This is my advice for women who are looking for their partner who are very ambitious and career driven. If the most interesting thing about you is what you do for work or how much you've accomplished at your age, it's going to be very difficult for you to find someone that meets your standards. I encourage you to think about who you are at a deeper level outside of work in your career. Are you interesting? Do you have hobbies? Are you fun to hang around? Are you constantly stressed and dragging down the mood? Be an interesting person, live a full, juicy, rich life, and that is going to help attract more interesting people around you and also give you a deeper connection. A lot of men are not looking for a trophy wife that has all these degrees and all these things. What they're looking for is someone who brings them peace, someone who inspires them to achieve more, someone who inspires them to take care of them. That is what they're looking for, not your job title.
So again, a lot of these modern women are talking about, oh man, men are giving up. And even some of these men in some of these documentaries talking about, oh, a man has given up. No, a man has decided to pursue peace in his life. He's decided to do things that are not going to cost him a lot of time, a lot of heartache, a lot of foolishness. Why don't you ever speak to that? Why don't you ever say, well, you know, maybe men are opting out because there's too much of a demand with too little of a return? Why don't y'all ever say that?
I'm crazy, but I think that men actually mean what they say. Like, no hidden message, no secret meaning, no emotional code to crack, just yes, no, up, down. But 9 times out of 10, I interpret it way differently. He says I'm tired. What I hear is tired of me, of this relationship, of life. Maybe I'm too much. Is he gonna leave? Like, should I back off? But the reality is, he just yawned. He says, oh, I didn't notice. He doesn't pay attention, doesn't care. He didn't notice the thing I changed. Clearly, he doesn't value me. He really actually didn't even notice. His brain didn't register it. He says, I'm not hungry. He doesn't like my cooking. He's mad. He ate somewhere else. He must be hiding something. Why isn't he hungry? What did I do? Actually, it's because he had 2 burritos from the gas station at 4 p.m. They say it's blue. We're like, but what does that mean? Is it sad? Is it deep? Is it about me? No, it's just blue.
Men don't want sex, ladies. They just don't. They don't want sex. They need sex. Some of the men were like, girl, what you talking about? I want it. No, you don't want it. You need it. It's an absolute necessity for men. The problem is he doesn't want to have to beg for it. He doesn't want to always feel responsible to initiate sex and intimacy. And here's how a man deals with rejection. The first time you reject him, it's like, okay, no problem. The second time you reject him, he stops trying. The third time you reject him, he's no longer interested, and he literally disconnects. He turns distant. He turns cold. He'll climb into bed. He'll watch a little bit of TV at night, turn his back to you and go to sleep. And he's angry about it. He's frustrated about it. He's disappointed that he has to fight for something that God told him he was owed and due. Because for men isn't just physical. It's how he experiences connection. It's how he experiences acceptance. It's how he experiences affirmation and closeness. What you think is merely a biological reaction is actually how your husband connects with you. Men become emotional once they physically connect. Women need to feel emotionally connected first, then they want to be physical. Houston, we have a problem. Doesn't that sound quite problematic? We ain't on the same page. Different designs, different makeups, different DNA.
I think men are coming to realize that a lot of these women don't really want a partner. They just kind of want a man's validation. They want his attention, they want his money, they want his lifestyle, all those good things. But then, God forbid, heaven forbid, man asks, what do you bring to the table? Nothing. And once again, I would ask, why is a man going to sign up for that? Why would a man be happy to take that on? He would.
There are multiple studies that show that single, unmarried women are the happiest subset of people in the world. And yet society keeps trying to tell us that, like, we're sad. And I'm like, no, we have data. You're sad. We're good. Leave us alone.
Can someone tell me why there are so many single men in Brisbane? I just feel like there's an epidemic of single men. I made a video asking for one man to be part of my music video, and I had hundreds of DMs saying that they lived in Brisbane and they were single.
For the women, going to where the men already are, going to the watering hole. If you're trying to hunt an elephant, you're not going to do it in Antarctica.
We go on to the men about this. The women, if you want a partner, you have to live in the world that we live in, not the world you want to be in, which means you are going to have to approach somebody.
Absolutely.
This church has never been this packed. It must be the spirit.
You know what? Amen, sister. Okay, you know, I was just thinking to myself, what's bringing all these people to church? And then I thought to myself, it's the spirit. Okay, it's definitely the spirit. So do you claim each cheek as a dependent? on your taxes? Because I think you could get a pretty decent return.
Everyone says they want a good man until he actually shows up. Because here's what they don't tell you. A good man isn't a pushover.
Yeah.
He's built on discipline, priorities, and rock solid boundaries. But the second he enforces those boundaries, suddenly the labels start flying. If he has a schedule, he's controlling.
Yeah.
If he has expectations, he's manipulative.
Yeah.
If he demands respect, he's toxic. See, people want the protection of a good man, but they hate the principles it takes to provide it.
Bring back men who yearn. I was on the phone with a guy today, and he's like, oh, what are you watching? I'm like, oh, I'm watching the newest season of Bridgerton. I love Bridgerton. He goes, of course you do. I go, what is that supposed to mean? He goes, oh, you're the sentimental and romantic type. I'm like, and? He goes, you do realize that's all fantasy, right? Guys don't act like that. Bring back men who yearn. I want a sonnet written about me. I want a man so unsure about how to live with his feelings for me that he goes insane, that he says he has to travel to the furthest corners of the world to get away from me, and it still wouldn't be enough. I want the Pride and Prejudice. I want a hand.
To most of you men out there, chivalry is... Why the are me and my homegirl walking into our job? There's 3 standing outside. There's 3 dudes. 3 dudes, men, standing outside near the door. One of them stops and says to my homegirl, oh, who you trying to impress today with them lashes? Trying to flirt and shit. Nigga, open the door. Shorty had to open the door for herself. Like, chivalry is dead. Oh my God. Oh my, this is scary. Chivalry is... You guys are useless.
You would impale me.
Okay, impale me is crazy. That's a crazy word to use.
I think it's a valid word to use.
Huh?
I think it's a valid word to use.
That's crazy. Take my Instagram or my number or something.
Okay. Do you like house music? No!
You like house music? I like house music.
Oh, you're just saying that. Okay. I follow you.
But I got you. Nice to meet you.
Be with someone who makes everything a big deal. I knew Cody was the one when he started making everything about me a big deal. Whether it was a birthday or my favorite food or I love flowers, so he gets me fresh flowers every Sunday. Or if it's me getting my nails done a new color and me being excited to show him or getting a new dress. But he just makes me as a person feel extremely special and like everything in life is a big deal. And so for you, don't be with someone who makes you feel small, who doesn't understand the little things about you that make you excited and happy, and who treats you like a queen and just celebrates you being you. That's how I knew he was the one.
If you're asking a man to do something, any man of any age, I don't care if they're this big or this big, when they've said yes to doing it, then you could ask, so what would be my part to set you up to win? And just those words, like, how can I set you up to win? Have I set you up to win? Is there something you need to be set up to win? Those are their words. And one of the mistakes that women make is we think if a man fails, that makes him try harder. And especially if we let them know how upset we are, that they'll double down. No. They're wired the opposite. Only spend time and energy and resources on things you can win at.
The same way a lot of men prefer their women to be hairless like a child, also prefer their women to not be argumentative or hostile, similar to that of a child who can't or does not know how to advocate for themselves. Because recently I was watching this episode of Pop the Bloom. A woman came out and she expressed that she would prefer not to date a guy who's into the nightlife. And so the guy kept on calling her, you're closed-minded, you know, I need to be with a woman who's open-minded, who's open to the way I make my money and my lifestyle, all these things. And so it got to a point where she just calmly said, I'm not close-minded, I just have a preference. Well, another guy popped. Obviously that pop had to do with the whole nightlife thing or whatever. He also said one very important thing that stuck out to me. He said, I feel like that interaction between her and the other guy was hostile. She didn't curse at the guy. She didn't yell. She didn't call him out his name. All she did was reiterate that just because I have a personal preference for myself, that doesn't mean I'm closed-minded. So just to be clear, within that entire interaction, a man classified a woman as hostile simply for advocating for herself. Another man tried to subtly insult/demean the woman for knowing her worth and knowing that she's better than some things.
Since men don't approach women anymore, I guess I should start going up to men. I live in a city, and literally anytime I'm walking anywhere, anytime I see a cute guy, it's always heads down, headphones in, he won't look at anyone. Literally no one is approachable anymore. No one looks at each other. Everyone's heads down, and no one's smiling or just seems happy. Literally no one's socializing. What am I supposed to do? Chase a guy down the street that does not want to be bothered and ask him if he is single? I feel like I give off the most approachable vibes. I'm always smiling, looking pleasant, not looking at my phone. I don't wear my headphones. Literally never once. I've never been approached. Get this. I was talking to a guy I matched with on Cuffed. We were talking on the phone, had the best conversation ever. Ghost me. He literally ghosts me. Just now, if you have like a really good phone call with a guy you matched with on a dating app like Raya, Cuffed, Tinder, or whatever, I guess you just ghost them immediately. It's funny though, like on the phone when we were talking, I asked him if he like ever approaches a girl at a bar or in the street, and he was like, no, God, no. So I guess maybe that was just a red flag. That men forget that they literally have the power in the situation. So that's why everyone's single.
Marriage is a series of choices, but most people treat it like it's luck. They think some people get lucky with a great partner and others are just stuck with whatever happens. But the truth is, marriage doesn't fail or succeed randomly. It's shaped by the choices that a person makes every step of the way. You choose who to be with, you choose how well you get to know them, and you choose the kinds of conversations you have with them, like money, family, life goals, priorities, before deciding to spend your life with them. You choose whether you want to deal with issues or ignore them. You choose whether you want to grow together or just go with whatever is happening. And when you don't make those choices intentionally, you actually give those choices away to family, to society, to peer pressure, to fear. A good marriage isn't magic. It's a result of small, deliberate choices every step of the way, made with care and clarity. So if you're building a life with someone, you have to ask yourself, am I making these choices intentionally, or am I just letting things happen to me?
Let's talk about the hypocrisy. Modern men want a woman to submit, cater, cook. They'll hit you with lines like, it's a partnership. Translation, I want the benefits of being a man without the burden of being a man. Otherwise, what are we building? Love without foundation is a liability. Stop demanding respect for a position you don't qualify for. It's a responsibility. You can't be king and coworker at the same time. Pick one. If you want her soft, feminine, and peaceful, then you need to create an environment for that. Because nothing makes a woman masculine faster than stress. And nothing stresses a woman out more than carrying bills. Provision makes her soft. You can't demand her feminine energy while giving her masculine problems. They want you to go 50-50 like a business partner, but still cook, clean, and stroke their ego like a traditional wife. Stop letting these men sell you wolf tickets with cute phrases like, it's about love, not money. So ask yourself, do you want a man who can truly lead, or a man who wants the perks of leadership without paying a price, except nothing less than queen treatment?
Man, let us know what y'all think about this. Leave a comment down below.
Whatever happened to men going up to women? Whatever happened to it? We want that. Bring that back. Can we bring that back? Can we start a movement?
I need them to bring back the real. When I say, I need my waxed, I need my hair done, I need my nails done. Sit in that. No problem.
Bring back men who beg. Bring back men who beg.
Can we please bring back the 90s men, like the men who adored you for real, the men who really loved you, the men who begged for your love, like the ones who cared about you for real, the ones who, it don't matter who around, they're going to show their love for you. Like, bring back the nice men, bring back the respectful men, bring back the men who don't feel like they have to be hoes.
When are men going to step up to the plate? Like, when are men going to be leaders and initiators? You know, like bring back the manly men.
They say that this year for like 2016. Well, if it is, bring back the 2016, because what is happening with these men from nowadays? They acting more sassier than ever. I've never seen them act like this. Yo, us females are stronger than them. We know what we want more than them.
My girl. And I want y'all to just notice something. There's women, all eating there. Women, all eating
a trend. Girls are all going out with their girlfriends. There's not like one date in it.
Yeah, I don't think that trend's going to be going away anytime soon. But I think it works though. You know, men get to keep their money. They get to work on what they want to do and do what they want to do. And I mean, women can go and spend all their money, get all this debt, you know, on their nails. You can tell she's got her nails done. She's probably got the expensive makeup, you know, going out for dinner every night. At least she's got to foot the bill. And also the men won't have to deal with her debt down the road. So win-win, I think. Anyway, I don't think this particular lady really cares what's happening in the dating market. I think she just wants somebody to pay for her dates and no one's doing it. And so she makes this video. How typical of women. Okay, let's go to the next one.
So I actually do understand why men seek out red pill content, specifically when they're lonely and trying to pursue women and they're struggling with that. Because, and I'm serious, red pill is full of autistic men who break things down ultra specifically. Like in a way that neurotypical men and women simply do not, because this is not their special interest and they're not as hyper-focused on it. There's actually not a ton of women out there giving super actionable, practical advice to men on how to pursue women. They do give advice like, okay, be romantic, give her flowers, respect her boundaries, no means no. That is actionable and practical, but that does not teach someone how to catch a woman. Unfortunately, there's a lot of women out there saying, just be yourself and the right woman will come along. Well, first of all, that's not always true. Second of all, a lot of people shouldn't be themselves. A lot of people are unsettling or stinky or rude in ways that they do not even realize because it has not been spelled out for them. Now, am I saying red pill content is good? No! What gets the audience in the door will lead to misogyny and blatant disrespect of women, can lead to real harm of women. And I do not support that or understand that. But I will say I understand what gets men in the door. From what I've seen in all my days, women are not making the kind of super practical and specific content that certain men need in order to better themselves.
New Orleans ladies, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have any, like, where are the men? And I know you're like, no, babe, that's what we're asking you. But now I'm asking you, where are they? Because I've had like 3 seemingly good men respond to my call for single men in New Orleans. I don't understand. And I see some of you men looking at my videos and my profile and saving them. What are you waiting for? Send me a message. Stop being weird.
Ladies, unfortunately, this is not a location issue. This is something that is happening across the board everywhere. Because men today have listened to the message that you prefer the bear over a man, the message that you don't want to be approached in public, the message that good men are like a needle in a haystack. And unfortunately, that means that he is going to have to work very, very, very hard at convincing you that he's one of those good men. Unfortunately, that means that man is going to have an immense amount of energy to put in your direction. And honestly, in today's society where he's putting in a ton of effort just to survive, just to work a job, to build up his career, to build up his finances, that means that for a lot of these good men, dating has been pushed off to the side. It's not a priority to them. So you ask where to find these good men, they're either home, working, or just trying to avoid people.
50% of men aged 18 to 30 haven't approached a woman in the last year.
And the men that have approached are doing remarkably well. More than half have gotten a date from it. And it goes down if you look to like long-term relationships, how many dates turn into a long-term relationship. But the men who are approaching, they're doing pretty well, actually.
Of that 50% of them did get a date.
Might have even been about 70%. At least got a date or a phone number or some kind of romantic connection there. People that approach women, they're getting dates from it.
Given the fact that this is an exclusively agentic decision that you're making, if you have a little bit more confidence in yourself, it's going to make making the decision more easy. But ultimately, there's a huge chunk of people in that 50% that are doing it that probably are just as unsure and just as terrified and just as uncertain as you are. So yeah, I mean, that's a serious white pill for why you should approach women.
I don't know what possibly could be a better ad for just do it.
Just do it!
Ask the girl out! Buy her dinner! Hold the door open for her! What's the worst that could happen? She says no. Half of all the men aged 18 to 30 haven't approached a woman in the last year. Obviously, I think there are a lot of reasons for that, which we can decode separately, but you have everything to gain from asking a woman out on a date. Part of the reason I am marrying my now fiance is because he didn't even ask me on a date. He told me, hey, we're going on a date. Okay? And I said, great.
If you didn't open up your door, are you letting that slide or are you going to start an argument?
Is this a relationship or is this a date?
It doesn't even matter if it's a date A relationship?
If it's
chivalry, period. If you don't open your door, is you letting it slide?
I have to teach him. If I like him, then I gotta teach him, because I don't know why you're not opening the door. That's something that I had to mention and seeing dude. I'm like, yo, you're not gonna open the door, because in my last relationship, I couldn't touch a door. I couldn't hold a bag. Like if I had 2 bags, why are you carrying that? Give me that. What are you doing?
If your man, you asked if a man opens up a door for another woman, are you letting it slide, or is that an argument?
Is he busting his ass to get to the door? Because that's an argument.
Let's say like this.
What are you doing? Like, are you running to the door to open the door for this chick? Like, what's happening? Or is she walking in, with us, and you letting her go first, and then me, and you and I walking together?
That scenario.
Then that's fine.
That's fine.
We'll let her go first, and then you go.
Yeah, because he and I are going in together. He don't need to walk in after her. Then that could be weird.
Why even open the door for?
Because he's a gentleman.
Nah, get the door yourself.
Oh.
Y'all know it really be irking the freak out of my spirit.
No, but I'm sure you're gonna tell us. Viewer discretion's advised.
It's seeing the same married men liking my posts consistently, over and over and over again. It's almost like you anticipate me posting, and as soon as I post, you want to be the first one to be seen. That is a problem. It's a problem because I know your wife would not be okay with that. Y'all need to do better.
So that man liking your pictures irks your spirit, your words, not mine. But you have yet to block him. You think it's a problem. You think that his wife wouldn't like it, but you have yet to block him. And this doesn't justify his actions, because he's in the wrong as well. But this video is about you. Help me understand how something bothers you so much, and you can change it. You can, and you choose not to. I'll tell you why you do that, because you enjoy the attention. It makes you feel some kind of way knowing that, there's a married man that finds me attractive. There's a married man that finds some kind of interest in me. When you said people got to do better, I want you to know that's a two-way street. That includes you as well. You play equal parts in this thing that you say irks you oh so much. But we all know deep down you are loving the attention. You don't really care that he's in a relationship. Honestly, it adds more fuel to that fire. Knowing that he is married to somebody else and he's showing you that kind of attention boosts your ego a little bit. And we know you're never going to admit to that, but it's clear as day. You enjoy the attention. So much so you made a whole video about one specific person that you have yet to block. And you say you don't agree with what he's doing. Come on now. Let's make it make sense. But you know what? Knowing her, she ain't all this, I'm saying, because she likes the attention. Y'all keep it change.
When I was 21, I was in a relationship with a doctor, and he taught me some very important things about relationships with men with money. And I want to share that with you because I wish somebody would have told me when I was 21. Date for character. Don't date for money. And I say that because just because a man has money does not mean that he's not toxic. Doesn't mean that he's going to be a good husband while you're pregnant. Doesn't mean he's going to be a good father. Doesn't mean that he won't cuss you out. It doesn't mean that he's going to be faithful. Doesn't mean that he's going to be honest. And it just doesn't mean that he's going to treat you right just because he has money. And I just see so many girls online who have it all wrong. On the top of their list is, he's a provider, or he must be rich, and things like that. It's just like, date a man who is compassionate, who is kind, who is loving, who is generous, has all these other traits that are super important to having a healthy relationship. And I'm just glad I had that experience while I was young, because now when I'm talking to men with money, their money doesn't impress me whatsoever. The dinners don't impress me. Where they've traveled to doesn't impress me. Their car doesn't impress me, because I know it doesn't really mean anything as far as how you're going to show up for me as a partner. And I just wish more women could understand that so they don't have to learn the lesson the hard way.
And this is just a PSA. There are still men out there that are gentlemen. There are still men out there that are sweethearts. There are still men out there that want to be the providers. There are still men out there that want to be the safe place for a woman to land. There are still men out there that are masculine, but in a safe way. They're masculine in a way that they want to make their woman feel safe, that she can be herself, that she can, in fact, rely on him, that he won't leave her broken or abandoned on the streets for someone else to pick her up and maybe do her wrong too. There are still safe men out there. There are still lovable men out there. There are still good men out there. And just because you came in contact with the very few that are not, doesn't mean that there aren't any good men out there. I know society is teaching women that they can't rely on a man. I know society is teaching women that men just hold them back and that men just keep them from doing the things that they want to do. And sometimes that's true. Sometimes there are men out there that really have that mentality that they can do more than a woman and will hold them down, and a woman can't do anything without them. There are still men out there. But sister, there are men out there that will leave you speechless, that will show you a love so undeniably true that it will leave you beguiled. Don't give up hope. Stay the course. Work on you, love you, and the beautiful things will come to pass. They really will. Don't lose that faith. There are still good men out there.
But these are my kids. And I'm not debating that. I'm just saying you've been hollering all day and maybe you're just stressed out. That's all I'm saying.
Everybody else.
I'm saying I can always help any way that I can. I can keep them some days to get you some rest or something like that because you holler a lot, and I'm saying I know you stressed out. You work a lot, baby. I'm not trying to be in your business, but we have been neighbors for a year.
This is so tired. Like, you know how being a single mom?
No.
Tiring. I can't take no more. It's tiring. You wake up, you get phone calls all the time. Kids ain't acting right. You got to get whoopings all the time. Then you got the society on you. I'm trying to make sure they don't raise to where they get by these police. They don't get beat up by these other boys in the street. I don't need nobody else telling me what to do.
I know.
I'm the only one with these kids 5 days a week, 365 days a year.
I'm offering if I could help, if I could. You know, that's all I'm saying. That's what I hear. I just hear you all the time. And I get it, honey. And I don't want to upset you no more, but I'm saying that's all I hear you over there. And I do a lot of praying for you because I know. And sweetheart, I'm so sorry. And they love you. They love you. Don't cry. Lord, have mercy. Y'all see how y'all, come on now. Give your mother a hug. Come on. Y'all got to do better. Y'all in school and stuff now. This is all you got. See, all you got. I'll help you. I will. I promise you. I'll help you. They gonna do right. Y'all gonna do better. Y'all gonna try to do better? Yes. Okay. All right. So let me know what I can do, baby. Here, just come on over. You're not by yourself. I know it seems like it, but you're not by yourself. You're not by.
Relationship boundaries is one of the biggest problems that people have in their relationship. Let's talk about it. Setting and respecting boundaries is one of the most important things between the union of you and your spouse. But a lot of people don't understand how serious it is. When I say setting and respecting boundaries for your relationship, I'm talking about the two of you together setting boundaries for outside people. Sometimes you have to know how to read the room. If something is making you uncomfortable between an interaction between one person with your spouse and that person is constantly overstepping their boundaries, it's because your spouse hasn't set those boundaries in place to let that person know that they're overstepping them. Not only is this disrespectful, but it's a red flag that you need to pay attention to. If somebody is overly friendly with your partner, it's because your partner allows it. If somebody who knows you guys are in a relationship continues to do things that they know you're uncomfortable with, it's because your partner hasn't addressed it and told them to stop doing it. It's also a lack of respect on your partner's behalf. And one excuse that's always been a red flag to me is when someone says that they don't want to address a certain situation because in their eyes it wasn't that big of a deal and they didn't want to be embarrassed by having to put that person in their place. But if the other party's feelings matter more than the person you're in the relationship with, something's wrong. Now let me just say this. If you don't respect or have those relationship boundaries set up, don't require something that you're not giving. Fellas, if you have a decent woman or a good looking woman, you know it's natural that people are going to shoot their shot at her. It's something you wouldn't have to worry about if relationship boundaries are set up and respected because your woman is going to know how to handle that at all times. Yeah, people may shoot their shot at her, but she's going to respectfully let them know it's not cool to cross those boundaries. But on the flip side, don't expect her to handle situations a certain way when you're not doing the same. Just remember, nobody can walk through a door that hasn't been opened and they can't crawl through a window that's closed. Stay woke, y'all.
You got a moment? Good. Being wife-minded means that we must communicate effectively, listen actively, express our feelings, and make sure that we are being honest about it and we articulate our needs very, very clearly. This is very important. Communication builds trust and connection, and we need this in our relationships. The first point I want to make is when I say listen actively, this means that it goes beyond just what you're hearing about your person. It is you being fully present and engaged. This means you got to put away your phone, okay? Eye contact is very important. There does not need to be any distractions in that place. You owe them your undivided attention. Number 2, express your feelings honestly. Honest expression requires vulnerability, and that's just the truth, but it builds trust and connection. And so what you want to do is you want to use I statements and frame your emotions to avoid pointing that finger. So you want to say, for example, I feel hurt when you, versus you always make me feel. You see where I'm going with that? Third, articulate your needs very clearly. Be clear about your needs. It really helps your partner to support you and understand you even better. You gotta be direct and respectful. And so when I'm saying that, you wanna avoid hinting or expecting your partner to guess what you need. They are not mind readers, okay? So say, I need some alone time, right? Instead of, you should know when I need space. No, they don't. The last thing that I want to give you before I'm out of here is practice patience. It's so very important. These skills will require time to develop. Be patient with yourself and with your partner as you both do what? Grow. Why? Because you're watering them, they're watering you, and you're growing together. You owe it to yourself. So papers do, honey.
A lot of these modern women be putting men on a roster and they don't understand. By the time that a man figures that out, he just kind of messing around and hanging out with you too. The problem for a lot of these modern women is they think that the roster is always going to be there. Modern women always think that their plan is permanent. They're very short-term thinkers. So when the men figure out, oh shoot, I'm on a roster, let me figure out something else. You don't realize that a lot of times this man starts to use you for whatever he needs. And then when he finds whatever he needs, he's gone on down the road and your roster actually erodes. And now you're back to square one. You can't continue doing this for the rest of your life.